Sahur. Enjoy the story and have a good sleep. I've always liked to escape. You know, to step away from everything. The noise of the city, the grind of work, the endless cycle of people talking at me. So when I decided to go on a solo trip into the woods, it felt like the perfect thing to clear my head. A weekend in nature, miles away from anyone or anything. I'd go off-grid, no cell service, no distractions. Just me, a small cabin, the deep silence of the forest. The place I found was remote, far from the nearest town, and it promised a true getaway. A small, run-down cabin on the edge of an ancient forest. The forest was old, with trees that seemed to stretch back to the dawn of time, their gnarled roots twisting out of the ground like claws. The moment I arrived, the air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth. I remember thinking how pure it felt, how untouched. The first day was perfect. I unpacked, went for a walk along a narrow trail, and soaked in the silence. No birds, no animals, not even the rustle of leaves in the breeze. Just stillness. It felt wrong in a way, but also calming. Like the forest had been waiting for me, waiting for someone. As evening came, the sun dipped low behind the towering trees, casting long shadows across the cabin. I built a fire, lit some candles, and settled in for the night. The wind started picking up, but it didn't bother me. If anything, it added to the atmosphere. There was something hauntingly beautiful about the way the trees swayed in the dark, like they were alive, breathing with me. I sat in the flickering firelight, my thoughts drifting. But then I heard it, a whisper, a faint murmur that seemed to come from nowhere. I stopped, my ears straining. Nothing, just the wind. But for some reason, I couldn't shake the feeling that someone, or something, was watching me. I shrugged it off. Probably just the forest playing tricks on my mind. It wasn't the first time I'd heard strange things in the woods. I thought nothing more of it and went to bed. The second night was different. The whispers came again. This time they were louder, closer. It started when I was just about to drift off to sleep. A low voice, almost like a growl, came from the trees outside the cabin. I froze. The sound wasn't clear at first, but then, distinctly, a word. Sahur. The name echoed in my head, like it was inside my skull, vibrating through my bones. My heart skipped a beat. I had no idea what it meant, but I knew one thing. It wasn't normal. I lay still, wide awake, listening for more. But there was nothing, just the wind rattling the branches, and the occasional snap of a twig in the distance. I chalked it up to my mind playing tricks on me again. Maybe it was an animal, or the wind mimicking voices. But still, I couldn't shake the sensation that something was out there, waiting. I didn't sleep much that night. The next day, I decided to go deeper into the woods. Maybe I was just paranoid. A bit of fresh air and daylight would clear my mind. So, I packed a small bag, grabbed my water bottle, and headed out along the trail. The deeper I went, the quieter it got. Not just still, unnervingly still. No birds, no insects, no rustling of animals in the underbrush. Just silence. By noon, I was far from the cabin, walking on an old path that seemed like it hadn't been touched in decades. The trees here were thicker, the trunks twisted and knotted, and the shadows were heavy. It was almost like walking through a maze. After an hour or so, I stopped at a small clearing and decided to rest. I found a large rock to sit on, but the moment I did, I felt a chill creep up my spine. My skin prickled. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. I looked around. Nothing. Just trees and shadows. when I saw it. A figure, barely visible, standing just at the edge of the clearing. A man. No, not a man. Something wrong. It wasn't like a human being. The figure was too still, too unnatural. It stood there just beyond the trees, watching me. I stood up quickly, my heart racing. The figure didn't move, didn't even blink. It just waited. Then, in a voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, I heard it again. Sahur. The word hit me like a punch to the gut, and I ran. I didn't look back. I didn't want to. I could hear it, though. Footsteps, distant but persistent, as if someone or something was following me. I didn't stop until I was back at the cabin, out of breath and trembling. That night, things escalated. The whispers were louder than ever. This time, it wasn't just a word. It was a phrase, repeated over and over in a voice that seemed to slither through the walls. Sahur, come to me. Sahur. It was a voice I couldn't ignore. It clawed at my sanity, gnawing at the edges of my thoughts. I tried to shut it out, to focus on the fire, or the crackle of the wind against the windows. But nothing worked. The voice was inside me now, filling my head, driving me mad. It was a voice I couldn't ignore. It clawed at my sanity, gnawing at the edges of my thoughts. I tried to shut it out, to focus on the fire, or the crackle of the wind against the windows. But nothing worked. The voice was inside me now, filling my head, driving me mad. Then, there was a knock at the door. Soft at first, then louder, more insistent. I froze. Who the hell would be out there? I hadn't seen another soul for miles. I grabbed the flashlight, my hands shaking as I approached the door. I peered through the crack in the wood. There was nothing there, just the forest. The dark, endless forest. I slammed the door shut and locked it, but it didn't help. The whispers grew louder, surrounding the cabin. They weren't outside anymore. They were inside my head, pushing, prodding, begging. And then, voice again, clearer this time. Sahur, you must join me. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. I spent hours staring out of the cabin window, watching the darkness of the woods. Every movement, every rustle, every shadow felt like it was coming for me. The clock ticked on, the hours stretching, each one feeling longer than the last. And then, at the stroke of midnight, I saw it. A figure in the distance, no more than a silhouette against the moonlight. But this time, it wasn't standing still. It was moving toward the cabin, slowly, deliberately. I should have left, should have run. But something in me didn't want to. I didn't want to face it, but I couldn't look away. As the figure approached, I felt it, an overwhelming sense of dread. My skin crawled, my pulse thundering in my ears. And then, just as it reached the edge of the clearing, it stopped. The figure tilted its head slightly, like it was studying me. And that's when I saw it. Its eyes, black, hollow, empty. Then the voice again, louder than before. Sahur! I stumbled back, my legs giving out beneath me. I fell to the floor, gasping for air, my vision blurry, my mind spinning. I couldn't breathe. The world felt like it was closing in on me. The last thing I heard before everything went black was a sound I'll never forget. The voice. But now it wasn't just whispering. It was screaming my name over and over, pulling me into the darkness. I woke up in the forest. I don't know how long I was out, but when I opened my eyes, I was lying on the cold ground. The smell of damp earth thick in my nose. I couldn't move. My body felt heavy, like it wasn't mine anymore. I tried to stand, but my legs wouldn't respond. I vision was fuzzy. I could hear the trees above me, their leaves rustling softly in the wind. But something was different. The air felt wrong. The world around me felt wrong. And then I saw it, through the trees, standing in the distance, just out of reach. The figure. Its eyes, glowing now, fixed on me. It was Sahur. I tried to scream, to run, but I couldn't. My body betrayed me. My mind betrayed me. And then, as the figure moved closer, I realized the horrible truth. The forest had claimed me. I was part of it now. At it, I don't know what happened. I tried to leave, but the forest wouldn't let me. If anyone sees this, don't go out there. Don't let it take you, too.